Welcome back to the course, guys. In this lecture, we are going to learn how to create something that is very dear to my heart, and that is YouTube thumbnails. So YouTube thumbnails are super important because, I mean, if you are like us and YouTube is your primary channel, your thumbnail is probably what will make or break your video. So let's start from our YouTube channel here, from Fairtrade Connection. And from this particular playlist, I have a playlist here, and I have already showed you a few videos of this playlist, but basically these are all like short videos that are supposed to be linked to a QR code that people can scan with their smartphone to access these videos. So as you can see, we have a bunch of videos in this playlist, 19 videos to be precise, and none of them has a thumbnail. So we are going to create a couple of thumbnails, but also we want to have this feeling of a series, okay? This is a series and we want people to have this strong feeling of, okay, this belongs to the same series of content, series of videos. So also we are going to call this series the Voices of Fairtrade, because this is the tagline that I use at the end of one of these videos. So it starts like this, connecting with, and then the name of the country, and then at the end of the video, let me scroll all the way to the end, you see this tagline, the Voice of Fairtrade. So I want to call this series the Voices of Fairtrade. Okay, so let's go back to Canva, and we are going to be starting with a YouTube thumbnail document. So in order to find that, we can start searching. So I will type in YouTube thumbnail. In Canva, we'll have a bunch of different YouTube thumbnails. So the dimensions that they give us here is 1280 by 720 pixels. So we could use that. This is the 16:9 aspect ratio, or we could go the full HD 1920 by 1080. So it's really up to you. Let's just use what Canva is proposing here. And we have a bunch of different templates. So this is interesting for us to start getting some inspiration. Also, something I didn't mention, I am using my Pro account because I really want this time to have a full suite of templates that I can use, because I'm going to be grabbing some elements from one template and then other elements from another template, because I do believe there are some good stuff here, but none of these thumbnails are perfect, look perfect, at least for my project. So what I'm going to do is basically to grab different stuff from different templates. But for that, in order to be accessing these templates, I need access to my Pro account, because some of them will be Pro templates. All right, so let's start with the template. Let's start with this one because there are some stuff that I like here. So I'm going to click on it. Canva is going to load it to my design. I like the layout. I like that the titles are here, they're big and bold, but this might not work for my visuals. So I'm gonna move them out of the way for now. But this thing right here, you see this visual right here, which is kind of like a pattern, a dotted pattern. I really like that. So I want to keep that. The rest can pretty much go. I'm going to delete everything here. And I like that I can give this pattern a different color if I want to. So for now, let's keep this one like so. Let's keep it here. Let's keep that color, that's fine. I can even give it a black color for now. Okay, so that's one thing. Let me add a page and come back to my thumbnail selections here. What else is catching my attention from this page? Well, if I keep scrolling here, I see one thing that I really liked. Yes, this one right here. I really like how this title is popping out. Top 10 shocking celebrity fact. I really like this structure for the title here. So I am going to steal that as well. So I don't need all of this fluff right here, but this stuff is pretty good. So I'm gonna copy that, Command C, and bring it to my actual project here. I can paste it on this first page. I'm gonna be moving it on this side. Okay, so I feel like with this, I can start designing, okay? Because we are on a pretty good track. Let me add a slight background here so I can see the different white backgrounds here. Okay, so in this lecture, I am going to create 3 different thumbnails for 3 different videos from this playlist right here. Okay, so the first one is going to be for a woman called Bulbuli from Bangladesh who is working on basket weaving. So Bulbuli's video should be somewhere in here. Yes, this one, watch how fair trade changed Bulbuli's life. So I'm going to first work on this one. This one will be our template, I would say, and then we can easily reproduce the other thumbnails, and you'll see it will go very quickly once we have the layout and the template, I would say, of the thumbnail created. So let's go ahead and create it. For that, I have already uploaded my photos. So let's find Bulbuli. Bulbuli is right here. So that is the photo that I'm going to use for the thumbnail. I'm going to delete it for now. And I am going to add a grid right here to place my photo into, so it fits and stretches across the entire page nicely. So again, to find grids, super easy. Go to your elements, scroll down, click on grid. There you go. So now I can bring my photo. So back to my uploads, bringing Bulbuli's photos right here. Okay, so a couple of different things here. So I have my rulers and guides activated here. So what I will do, I want to bring a guide to a portion of my thumbnail where I think the main character should sit, or at least like it should be around this place. So I have enough space on the other side here to paste all of my text. Okay, so this text right here. So maybe let's start with this. Let's grab the text. I will Command C and I will Command V here. And you see, I need Bulbuli to be more on the right side because she's still under my text right here. And yeah, I need that space for my text basically. So what I will do, I will double click on the photo of Bulbuli and I will stretch it. Okay, and then I will move it as much as I can. I will move this photo. Let me zoom out a little bit so I can see what's going on. Need to be able to move her as much as possible on this side of my screen. Okay, so this is pretty good. You see, this is my third here. So maybe I should move my, yes, like so. I should move my guide pretty much here. And yes, I feel this is going to be working much better. Okay, so now I can work on this text. So this should say the voices of fair trade. Okay, so the first box should say simply the, and I can adjust this text box like so. Okay, this one should say voices of. So voices of, the voices of, it's good, it fits nicely. And the last one, fair trade. Oops. The voices of fair trade. And again, I'm going to adjust each of the text boxes so they are just at the right size. Sorry, I don't need to have them too big. Okay, so I see that. Let me zoom back in. I'm going to fit to, yes, my screen. I can see that this box in the background, this shape in the background is not large enough for my text here. So I'm going to make sure to stretch it a little bit. Okay, now I can start to rearrange this. The last one, I don't need it. So what I want to do, I'm going to lock my frame here, or my grid, because otherwise it's going to be moving. So I'm going to lock it with the little padlock icon and work on this part right here to pretty much recenter and balance this design right here. These text boxes. Okay, so maybe these two, I'm going to click outside of my design and drag to select them both. Okay, and I want to have them nicely stacked here and position this maybe on top of the other box. And now this text box right here, I can select it and move it slightly with my keyboard arrows. Okay, this is what I have. I'm pretty happy with this. I'm going to select all of it and make it slightly bigger. Okay, can make this slightly bigger. I'm going to paste it, like I'm going to stick it to my save zone here on top and on the left side as well. Okay, I'm pretty good with this. I'm going to group all of this stuff. The only thing is that I could accentuate the word fair trade here by changing its color. So I'm going to change the black color for one of my branded colors. Okay, like so, the voices of fair trade. Now this is pretty cool. I like how this is stacking, how it's balanced. One thing I could do maybe is to add a little visual here that represents the voices, that represents the testimonials. So I'm going to go to my elements and search for voice icon, something like that. Yes, so yeah, something like a magnophone, like this one, a megaphone, sorry. See more like this. I want to have more options of megaphones. Okay, so let me type in megaphone icon, filter by graphics. Yes, this is nice. Let me find one that could look very cool here. Yeah, there are different ones that could do the trick. Just trying to find the perfect one. Maybe I get rid of icon, megaphone, like so. I don't want any animated graphics because it won't be animated as a YouTube thumbnail, so you can only have a still image as your YouTube thumbnail. Okay, this one could be interesting. I'm going to use this for now. And I'm going to bring it right here and maybe align it with the with the angle of my first text box here. Does that look good? I think so. Okay, so the voices of fair trade. I don't really like that these are pointy. Okay, finally found it. I found it under my recently used elements. I knew I had seen this one before. So there we go. This is the one I want to be using for my thumbnail. So let me delete this one and bring my new icon right here. I'm going to align it so it looks nice with this box right here. Yeah, this is about right. Maybe bring it down a little bit more, like so. Okay, the voices of fair trade. Okay, so I'm happy with this. I'm going to be grouping this together with the rest of my text. So there you go, grouped. Now I can move all of this as one element, but I want to make sure it is inside my safe zone, right here, touching at the top and on the left side. Okay, now I can continue to work on styling this thumbnail. One thing I want to do is to add a special effect of bulbuli, so the character here will be in full color, but the rest of the background in black and white. So I have this precise idea of the concept that I want to recreate. And in order to execute that, I need to duplicate my grid here. So with it selected, I'm going to Command C or Control C and Command V. Oops, not what I wanted to do. Let me use the back arrow. I want this to be, okay, I understand why it's not working because this grid is actually locked. You see, this element can be edited. So I need to unlock it before I can do what I was trying to do. Okay, so now I should be able to do it. Command C, Command V. All right. I basically duplicated the grid with bulbuli inside. So before I apply the background remover, that's the effect we're going to use, I'm going to select the base layer, so the base grid, and edit image and remove the saturation to make this image black and white. You see now the image is black and white. Now I will bring back the duplicate layer right here, and I'm going to be selecting it, edit image, and background remover. And there you go. So now you can see what I was trying to do. I think this looks pretty cool because it really makes her pop out of the thumbnail, which is the effect I was going for. Now, a couple of more things I want to bring back to this design, like this pattern right here. I would like to use that. I'm going to change its color to this light gray. And I'm going to Command C, Command V. Okay, now I have this pattern here. What I want to do, first I'm going to give it a little bit more transparency by clicking on it, clicking on the transparency button. Let's make this more subtle, maybe a 40. And then I'm going to push it backwards with my position button, push it back. And yeah, this looks pretty good there where it is. So this is taking shape. I'm happy about this. I would just like to go back to my thumbnail selection here. And I am looking for an arrow because I have observed from our dozens of YouTube videos that when you have an arrow on your thumbnail, it kind of increases the click-through rate. So yeah, I'd love to have an arrow on this design. So a bunch of thumbnails actually use arrows, as you can see here. But for me, I like this one that is coming out of the frame. So I'm going to click here and I'm just going to steal the arrow by Command C, coming back to my design right here and Command V. Okay, so it's here. It needs to be on the other side. So I'm going to flip this arrow horizontally like so, and move it, okay, like so. Now I'm going to put the arrow like here and change its color to match my color here, my green color. So yeah, this looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy about this. Just one thing missing is kind of like the title of this video. So we have the Voices of Fairtrade, which is nice, but I want to indicate that this is Bulbuli's story, okay? Okay guys, so the more I look at this thumbnail, the more I realize this pattern right here should probably be positioned slightly up. There's something bothering me here with this pattern at the moment. So what I'm gonna do, because I cannot access this layer from here, so I'm gonna slightly move Bulbuli's color photo for now, and simply click on the other layer here, which is this pattern. So I'm going to move it and kind of position it as I want from here. And now I'm going to go back to my first layer and make sure Bulbuli is back into where she needs to be. So this is looking better. And now I feel ready for the last little detail on this thumbnail, is to add the name of Bulbuli, to say that it is Bulbuli's story. So for that, I have been inspired by another thumbnail that I have seen here in the templates. Let me show you this one right here that says 5-minute full body workout. You see how the for beginner is in between two lines? I like this effect. So I want to reproduce this on my design. So I can do this from scratch. There's no need for me to go and grab it from the template because I know exactly how to create lines. So you can create a line from here if you want, or you can use your L key on your keyboard, L for line. So if I press L, I have a nice straight line here coming directly to my design. So I'm going to make one line here, make it white. And I'm going to hold my Option or Alt key down and drag like so. All right. And now I just use a text box and I can type in Bulbuli's story. Obviously, I need to reduce the size of this text and bring it down here in between the lines. I'm going to change the color to white. And what I'm going to do is to stretch this text. So it's fitting, it's occupying a little bit more space in between these two lines. So in order to do this, go to your spacing, and then that's the letter spacing. So just give it more space. Something like that. And I can click out, see how it looks. It looks pretty good. I'm quite happy about this. Yeah, and now I feel like our thumbnail is pretty much ready. Maybe what I can do is to adjust the lines here so that they match my text a little bit better. like so. And you see Canva is assisting me, oops, with this pink line. So now I'm pretty sure this is exactly where it needs to be. Yeah, so this is looking very good. I'm really happy about this. And this is our first template. So we are ready with the first video. And I'm going to use that as my guide, okay? So pretty much now creating the other thumbnails for this series is going to be a matter of minutes. So I duplicated the entire project here. What I'm going to do is to first work with the photos, okay? Because obviously this is what is going to change from thumbnail to thumbnail. I'm going to keep everything else. So here I have my grid, I have my text, I have my arrow, and I have the pattern. So now all I need to do is just to drop another image right here. And the second video for which I want to create a thumbnail is Amina. Okay, so I have the story of Amina. I want to be illustrating it. So there we go. This is her photo. I'm going to bring it forward by using the position button and bring it forward all the way. Let's just work with her first. And first, let's fix the framing of this photo. As you see, my guide here is helping us. So ideally, Amina's right eye should be aligned with this guide right here. So again, what I'm going to do is to simply double click on the grid and stretch it, make it bigger, like so. And I can probably bring it down a bit, like so. Let me see how this looks. Yep, this is pretty good. I have enough space here. Her hands are not cut out. So yeah, I'm gonna work with this. This looks good. So next step is to duplicate this layer. So I will make sure it is selected, Command C, Command V. I'm gonna move it out of the way slightly. Clicking on the base layer, edit image. I'm gonna remove the saturation, make it black and white. Next, repositioning my top layer. I run the background remover on it. There we go, apply. And now I have these two layers. Well, I have the other stuff here. I can just push everything backwards. So if I push to the back, okay, what did I do? Forward, 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 forward. I did something wrong. Yes, I think I moved Amina's photo to the back, but this one is the one that needs to go to the back. Okay, good. And now Amina's photo can be brought back here. Okay, perfect. Okay, a couple of things need to be done here. Obviously, you need to change the text. This is not Bulbulis anymore. This is Amina. So first, I'm going to be positioning her photo to the, not to the back, but let me bring it to the front, backwards a couple of times. Yes, now I can access this text box. So this is Amina. Let's write her name, Amina, Amina's story. Okay, I can adjust. You see, I cannot click on them because they're still under this layer. So at this stage, because there are so many layers, it's really a game of accessing your layers. So yeah, it could be quite difficult. One technique is to hold your shift key and then use the tab. And you see, like for now, for example, I have the pattern selected. So I can adjust this one now that I have it. Let me see what I'm doing here. So what I'm trying to do is to have it centered with my character, with my main person on the photo. So, okay, this is good. Don't need to move it anymore. But what I need to access is these lines. So I'm going to click on Amina. So this is the first layer. And again, position, push it backwards until I can, yes, I can access the first line, but not the second one. So I need to push this backward a bit more. Now I can access the second one. Perfect. So my goal was to simply reduce the length of these lines on both sides. So this is what I'm doing here, making sure I'm not moving this line here, because otherwise I think I moved it. Yes, like so. because otherwise it will not be straight anymore. And I obviously need these lines to be straight. And the last thing is that I can change the color of this box right here. But again, it's behind Amina. So position, I need to push this backward a bit more. So my arrow is back, which is good. Backwards, that's too much. So forward, okay, I still cannot access these. So I will continue basically to push backwards. Okay, this one needs to go backwards as well. And I still can't access these. So it's really a game of accessing the right layers. Okay, so I'm gonna really push them back and then I will bring them to the forefront once I'm done working with this text box right here. Okay, so what I'm doing is clicking on the background, on the shape behind the word, and I'm gonna change this for another color. I'm gonna use my pink color. Same for the arrow. And now I can try to bring Amina back. Where are you, Amina? We need you back. Okay, so for this to happen, I need to push a few things backwards. Like this thing right here, forward needs to be forward. I'm gonna click on the photo here. This is to the back, yes. And this needs to go backwards one time. And I think we are good to go. There we go, guys. This is our second thumbnail. I think we did a pretty good job with this one as well. Let me quickly do a third one so you can see that this shouldn't take too much time. Maybe an easier way to work with this. Let me duplicate this because I really struggle with the layers, and I wanted to keep that in the editing of the video to show you, because you are probably going to struggle with the layers as well. So a way to do this is I'm going to delete all of the visuals here, and I'm only like this grid as well. And I'm only gonna keep like these elements. Basically, this is everything that comes on top of my photos. So I'm gonna keep that. And once I'm done playing around with my photo, I'm gonna copy everything and paste it. And this should be way easier. So, okay, now let's create the last thumbnail. So for that, I'm gonna create a new page. I'm gonna bring it up. I need my grids. So elements, grid, put my first photo in it, and this time it is this man right here called Ram Chandra. So also an artisan from Nepal. Amina was from India, if you were wondering, and Bulbuli from Bangladesh. So let's work with Ram. You can see a different layout. So we could either place this text on this side, which is possible, but we could also very well flip this photo. So I'm going to flip this horizontally so we can keep working the way we were working. I'm going to double click on this and make sure the right eye of my subject is still aligned with my guide. So this is important for me. I'm going to bring it down slightly, but I still want to see his hand there working. So I want to keep both of these hot points. Okay, so this is good. I'm going to duplicate this layer. Control C, Control V. All right. The base one is black and white. So edit image, reduce the saturation all the way to 0. And then this one comes here, background remover, by selecting the image first, then background remover. There we go. Okay, I'm going to apply this. So this is looking good. I feel like this photo could need a little bit of love, so I'm gonna auto enhance this. So again, edit image, and I'm gonna search for a tool called auto enhance. Just gonna run this over the photo, see if it makes a difference. Yes, it makes it brighter. I'm happy with this, so I'm gonna apply this enhancement. And see what I was telling you before? All of this stuff right here. So I'm gonna start by changing the color of this box. This time I'm going to use my green. The arrow can be green as well. And I'm going to select everything here and Command C it. Then come to this layer or this thumbnail, this page, and paste it. And you see how easier it was. I don't have to play around too much with my layers here. I just grab this one, position it where I want it to be, kind of here, and I will simply push it backwards until I'm happy with the result. And I am happy with the result at this stage right here. The arrow can be moved a little bit, like so. And obviously we change the name for Ram's story. Okay. And then you see how less struggle this was, because I understood like how to deal with these different, how to deal with this. And I feel like this line is not completely straight yet. So probably this one isn't either. Well, we'll never know. Okay, let me reduce the size here as well. And then same story here, just need to reduce the lines. I feel like something is not right here. Position, okay. Yeah, this is better. Let's do the same thing here. So I'm selecting all of these 3 elements and position, space evenly vertically. Okay, now this looks good. Ram story, the voices of fair trade. Okay, and there we go. We have completed the project. Can get rid of this page right here. And you see I have my 3 thumbnails. They look super consistent. So this will really look good on my YouTube playlist right there. And I have this template right here that I can also use. I can continue adding more photos using the same technique. And yeah, these will look awesome on YouTube. Probably get me a lot of views, a lot of clicks. Thank you for following along this lecture. I hope you learned a thing or two in this one as well, that you will replicate maybe a similar technique for your thumbnails. And in the next lecture, we are going to create a channel art for your YouTube channel. I will see you there.